I want to appreciate Showore very much for the role he has played in this whole case. And let me read what he wrote here. He said, a federal high court sitting in Lagos has granted Ijele Speaks bail. While we welcome the bail granted Ijele Speaks, it also must be noted that judges granting burdensome bail conditions to persons framed by the ogbonge people wey dey inside police, that they must understand that these bail conditions constitute a further abuse of the rights of the citizens in that court. Eh? You know? So if you are giving somebody this kind of bail conditions, there's a compromise there, right? Or maybe they need to explain it to us, like what is the where is it in your law that this is, like, I don't know. We are saying maybe they should even use all this bit to regulate the social media. What did they use it to do? They are using it to go after people that are exposing them, right? Well, I don't know what they want to gain from it, but this is showing to the whole world that there is no democracy. These are doing democracy day. Democracy, where is the democracy? Where is the democracy? What is the difference between all these things that they are doing and military rule? What is the difference? Because military will come take you against your will, put you in jail. You have no say. Trump Russia, they will form a tribunal, do whatever. You don't have any say. And now we have a civilian rule. We have a democracy, quote and unquote. So how is that democracy playing out for us? Yeah. Where is the democracy there? In a democratic regime, if Ijele walks into a police station to answer to an invitation, it ends there. I'm coming. Let me block somebody here because I don't want to entertain all these kind of frivolities. When I'm saying Ijele, I wish that Ijele will rise above all these things. I will also try my best not to get riled up, not to respond to them. Just anywhere I see them, press the ignore button, remove them. That's it. That's it. They never existed in the first place. They're just constituting nuisance. So why should I give room to that? So, like I said, it's a learning curve, not just for me, for every one of us that we're able to witness what went on. Like, I am always there for, say, if somebody did something wrong, let the person pay for the consequences. I am standing there. So if you say Ijele did something wrong, Ijele did cyberbullying, Ijele threatened you, and you you wrote a petition and police invite him. So why go through the back door and have these honorable magistrates to be writing a prison remand and motion ex parte, putting me in prison without seeing him, without docking him for a case that is not in their jurisdiction? Why are you going the back door? And you say you are a Christian, you are upright, you are praising God, you are doing like this, carrying the biggest Bible that you can find in the market, and you say somebody did something wrong, and you are going through the back door. Why are you going through the back door if your hands are clean, if your conscience is clear? Yeah. Why you go through the right process, yeah, and let them pray, but you want to use another hand because we are not in a democratic government. Because Nigeria is not practicing democracy. They think they are practicing democracy. They are not practicing democracy. In a democratic regime, nobody will go and pay police to arrest somebody for him. Nobody will pay judges to write motion ex parte to remand somebody in prison illegally against his human rights. Nobody will do that. But because they are thinking, they are demonstrating their craze in the name of say they are doing democracy, this is what you get. This is what you get. And you do like this, you do like this. If somebody did something wrong and then you charge the person to court, the court will judge the case. Whatever the penalty is, the jailer will pay. Nobody is going to raise any dust. Yeah. including me. I will not say anything. Yeah, if they went through the process and went through the court process, and the judge judged the case and say you did this wrong, and because of this you are going to do this penalty, you are going to do that, fine and good. Why are you going all this illegal route? Because you can. Because you can. Because you have a corrupt system that have no recognition of the rights of the individuals. And so you can do such a thing, right? Hmm? Can do such a thing. And then somebody, do you know today I saw in the news on Vanguard, somebody said the pastor prophesied to her that 81-year-old mother is the witch that is troubling her life. He went there and put fire for a mama body in mama pie. There's another one I posted on my page today. They said pastor told them that there's a man in their community that is the one responsible for all the backwardness in their community, and they went after the man to break his house. I posted it, right? So you have people who are using religion to constitute nuisance. Is it not the job of the police to check out all those things that they are doing? Like somebody like this one now, is it not for the police to go and make them to, like, hold them accountable for the claims that they are making? Claims of healing, claims of giving children, claims of doing all this work. Is it not the work of the police? And somebody now say it's not doing anything. No, if you are sick, go to the hospital, right? So you may not like the way he was saying it, but it needed to be said. And who said it again? Nobody. And so you see the damage they are causing. Look at in that community in Ebonyi now, just because one pastor said, where is the police to hold that kind of person accountable? What is his proof? Where is that kind of prophecy coming from? This is the job of a government that is serious. You don't go after people who are saying, look in this direction, look, scrutinize this thing. This democracy, we're supposed to have a freedom to express. Yeah, and if you feel threatened from what somebody said, it's in your rights. Yes, if you're able to feel threatened and feel that his life is not, is afraid, then it is in his right to petition the police, and it is in his right to sue Ijele to the court. Yeah, but it is not for him to go and be bribing them. And them, they are those ones he is able to bribe, and they are going through the corner and writing motion exparte and putting him behind bars and striking the case off and not releasing him from jail and holding on to it and transfer from one magistrate to another magistrate for a case that you said is not in the jurisdiction of a magistrate. This magistrate, Yana, strike it out, he changed it to magistrate Shoma Amawachi. He sit on it, hold on the motion experte to remand him in prison. Then Yana, that said the case is not in his jurisdiction, brought a production warrant. They need him in Lagos. They carry him from Abuja to Lagos. And the justice that is higher than this magistrate is sitting on the case and postponing and adjourning for a case that you are higher in authority, that you are supposed to hear it the first time and strike it out because of even all the violation of his human rights, and you are putting a bond of 50 million. That shows you how dishonorable the whole system is. Greetings. Yeah, so while we rejoice that Ijele has been granted bail, so this is showing us that in Nigeria, anybody can wake up and pay a dishonorable magistrate, and they will write a motion exparte without seeing you, and they will pick you up and they will put you behind bars, put you in jail. Then what are we talking about democracy? What is the difference? What is the difference from the military rule?
Like what is obtainable in the military junta. And one will imagine that the manner in which you have spoken, especially the treatment of journalists in this country under the last 1 year of President Tinubu, I'd like to know and get clarity of how you describe civil liberty, expression of freedom of expression under this government. shown there is no basis for comparison with respect for civil liberties under a neo-Tanzanese military junta and a civilian government. I mean, I can tell you, and I did say this in Kaduna 2 days ago, when we had some of the best programs lined up for the Democracy Day, whereby Governor Uba Sani released about 110 prisoners. I was invited to be part of the program, and I did make the point. And speaking for myself, I was jailed several times, tried with all manners of offenses, including treasonable felony, to overthrow a military dictator. But were never convicted. And I did say that for the past 25 years, I've never been arrested or detained. So between 1987 and 1997, 10 years, I couldn't travel through the airport. I had to travel through the bush. We call it the alternative route, which later
it's not
people
from
later called Nadeko route. We have been going through that route since 1987, whereas Nadeko was formed in 1994. So you can't compare. I mean, you mentioned my family on a regular basis. I was woken up in the night and taken away, sometimes for months.
So this is the same thing that the democratic regime is doing, because they are not able to weed out corrupt elements within their system. And the whole system is embedded with corrupt mind and criminal-minded individuals in all echelons of power, and they don't have any mechanism to weed them out. So it's the same thing that is happening. Anybody can trump up charges and use any system and pick you up, and you are not going to be able to do anything about it. And they are running this inefficient, wicked judiciary system, and they don't want to do anything about it. They don't want to do anything about it. They don't want to reform it. They don't want to change it. They need to change the penal code. You cannot keep people indefinitely. You cannot pick up people as you will. You cannot be framing people and putting people in prison. And they say the prison is congested. Prisons that are supposed to take 12 people is taking 20 people, is taking 200 people. You know, this is a fundamental human rights violation. And the government is not doing anything. And you say you are doing democracy. What is the democracy there? What is the democracy if anybody can pay corrupt elements in the police and they can trump up charges and take you? Normally in Nigeria, we know that once you want to go to police, they say you go and call police on somebody, you pay them, you give them money, they'll come and carry that person for you, detain that person, and then you go and you look for money to bail yourself. You know, this is against the human right of the people, and there is no democratic ethic there at all. Yeah, so let's hear what Falana is saying.
And there was a time my son, fast now, had to ask the mother, we're told in school that only criminal suspects are arrested. Is my father a criminal suspect? And my wife had to say, no, the government arrests two types of people, criminals and those who are fighting against injustice under military dictators and who are asking the military to leave us alone, allow democracy to be part of us. So I am not talking about, I'm talking of excesses not permitted by law that are going on. And that is a challenge for the government to walk its talk.
Are you hearing it? Excesses that are not permitted by law. Excesses that are not permitted by law. So if we say we are in a democratic regime, we are now in a democratic system, and democracy day, happy democracy day, then it should reflect in the system. People should not be able to trump up charges and keep somebody in jail indefinitely. Magistrates should not be able to motion ex parte on civil cases and put people behind bars indefinitely. Right? In America, where they copied that system, no judge will just be producing motion ex parte and say, go and bring somebody. You know, where is it coming from? You don't want to you are seeing a system that is decayed, it's not yielding anything, it's not helping anybody, and you are not able to reform it. You don't want to change it because it's serving you, it's working for you. But let the time turn, and then you find yourself inside that same system that has been paying you, working for you, helping you, and then you will now realize, you now start saying, come and fight for me because I am Igbo, because I'm Yoruba. But you know you have a very terrible system that is working against the fundamental human right of your citizens. You're not doing anything about it. All of you that are in government offices sitting down and enjoying
by
yourself.
ensuring through the office of the Attorney General that the police and security agencies in Nigeria are not allowed to erode the rights of our people. As it is the case now, we've gone a long way to banish illegal arrest in lieu of people, arrest for civil wrongs.
Arrest for civil wrongs, arrest in lieu of people. What that means is you are arresting for somebody. Like Ebuka Obi, he now call Nigerian police, help me to arrest that person, put him in jail for 1 year. I will do case with you. I have eyes everywhere, so that you will learn. Arresting in lieu of, in a democracy, and you people are not ashamed of yourself. All of you that are running that Nigeria, you are not so ashamed of yourself that in your country somebody feel like I want to arrest somebody, you now call your own police to go and arrest somebody. Your own police is what they are using to go and arrest somebody that did not do anything. For civil cases. Then somebody now feel like I want to deal with that person, I want to teach him a lesson. Do you know who I am? You now call your police to go and arrest somebody. And you are taking away the rights of the citizen. That's what he's saying. And we are in a democracy, but it's not reflected. These are the things that happen in military regime, where we say you don't have any right. Why the people say they want a civilian regime? And then you are in a civilian regime, and the same thing is happening.
We've gone far. Obtaining police permit to demonstrate, we have won the battle. What we are now saying is that the government must monitor the violations of our rights. The Police Establishment Act 2020 provides that every police station in Nigeria shall have a lawyer to monitor human rights enforcement, compliance in every police station. So we need at least 5,000 lawyers to monitor human rights compliance in police stations. That has not been done.
Yeah. So it is the work of the government, right? From the highest office to the lowest. It is your job. You are in government. Protection of human rights. When we are talking about human rights, it's not only the right of people in office. Just because you got elected in whatever capacity, wherever you are, or you are in the civil service, you are in high position, doesn't mean that you are the only one that have rights. People on the street have rights. Everybody have rights. And Europeans and Americans, they have understood it. They give their people that rights. That's why when we come here, I feel like you, even though you are a foreigner, somehow it's okay for you. You are able to live with it because they have given their citizens rights. See, like they acknowledge their humanity. But we are not there yet in Nigeria. In Nigeria, the humanity is only for if you made it to the governor, you made it to high rank, high police rank, high military rank, you made it to church like this Ebuka Obi now that he has a large following. Anything that makes you like you are above the others, that's where your right starts to count. Normal people have no rights. Ordinary breast seller has no right. Driver has no right. Children has no right. Women have no right. All those things. That is democracy. When we are saying democracy and the beauty of democracy, and democracy is not just about doing election, it's ensuring that there is human rights. And is there, do you have that?
It is also stated in the Constitution, I mean, in that Police Act, that every Nigerian who is arrested, who has no lawyer, even in a police station, is entitled to demand for a lawyer, which, I mean, that will be supplied by the Legal Aid Council. So Nigerians' rights are being restored, granted by government, and improved upon by law. But we are saying, in practice, on a daily basis, massive violations of the rights of our people take place. And the government doesn't seem to appreciate that it has a duty to ensure that the rights of our people are respected. So, the leaders say, why?
They are not interested. You have the Nigerian Judicial Commission. There are big men sitting in that commission. Why can't you look at your judiciary and transform it, change it, reform it, do what you have to do? You are not doing anything. You are sitting down there, traveling, enjoying your life, earning big salary, living good life. It is not your problem. We have the Inspector General of Police, IG of Police, big, like for example, this case of this Ghanaian and this Celine that is going on. No statement from the police, even up to today as we are talking. One statement did not come from them. Right? So they don't see it as a duty. And you are talking about democracy. Where is the democracy?
Gulf between civil liberties under the military and civil liberties under a civilian government. Your passport could be seized at any time. You will not be allowed to go out of town. You couldn't go to court because every decree, that had to do with the liberty of our people contain an outside clause that the court cannot challenge anything done or purported to have been done under a decree. So there's no basis. All I'm saying is that the government must appreciate that we are operating under a civilian dispensation, and the terrorist activities or the terrorist practices of military dictators must not be allowed under a democratic dispensation. That is the issue. All right. Let's take a breather, Mr. Falana. We'll take our first break, and when we come back,
you see, the thing that is going on in the military dictatorship, that they can arrest you, they can seize your passport, they can trump up charges, they can arrest you for somebody feel like say they should arrest you, they will arrest you. It shouldn't be happening in a democratic government, and this is what we are witnessing, as if there is no leadership, right? Yeah, so I will leave it there. In as much as we are happy that Ijele has been granted bail, we are not lost on all of these things that have played, and the bail condition and all those things. It is not lost on us. But it's good that the whole world is seeing what they are doing, and though the judges and the justices that have ruled in this case, their name is out there on the pages of the newspapers. And what they did today, it will account for them tomorrow. Yeah. You remember the girls that they took to Ghana? That guy from Imo State and some girls from Benue State, that they took them to Ghana. I showed you the video the other time. Their faces were not covered, and they are minors. Actually, that's what's supposed to be done. That their identity is supposed to be protected, because they don't know any better, and they were happy to be rescued, and so they are back now. So I wanted to share the video of them. So that's why the video is a little bit blurred, because they are protecting their identity. So But when the night comes,
there is something that makes me come into your presence.
so this is Abike Davide, and she went there and to visit them. As you hear, she went to visit them, but they are now in Nigeria. I wanted to share that. I don't know. About I said, we they say it's Oyibo that made them sell. I don't understand the wahala that these people are.
You guys are very lucky. You have a fantastic governor, a wonderful, his wife is also wonderful. Thank you so much. And for this one from Plateau, the governor called me yesterday, and I'm going to call the Commissioner for Women Affairs, and she's going to speak with you on a video call once I'm done. So, like both of them have said, this is the beginning, by the grace of God, of greater things in your life. Whoever did this to you will not prosper. Amen. Traffickers will be shamed. Amen. And we have said today we will declare a war against human trafficking. Amen. Yes. Look at you, beautiful girls. I mean, your lives will only be better. Nobody will destroy your lives. Okay? So, like they said, Nigeria cares for you. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is so happy that this is happening, and you can count on all the support. But the most important thing is that traffickers have to be stopped. You know, you didn't come here to do prostitution. They told you were going to do sales girl or work or something, and they lied to you. So you are not guilty of anything. That's what I'm saying. Like Madam said, this is the time for. I want to see you in a few years' time. Say, Honorable, do you remember me? Now I'm the governor of Imo State.
These girls, they are in the custody of Nigeria High Commission, and I want to, for our visitors, I want to assure you that the girls, they are here, are healthy,
Yeah,
they are feeling fine, they are happy, and you will testify to that when you see them. Before we took custody of them, the NIDO that rescued them, they've been feeding them, providing necessary.
yeah. So I wanted to share this video with you guys, and there's a video also where they were coming down from the aeroplane. They are now in Nigeria as we speak. The girls. I'm looking for that thread. Yeah, they are now in Nigeria. So I'm very, very grateful to Honorable Abike Dabidi for taking it up, and bringing the girls back home. I want to see if I will bring out the video of of the girls. Am I the only one that don't know how this X works? I don't know how it works. So, oh my god. Yeah. I'm trying to find the video where they are coming down from the aeroplane. Yeah, but the important thing is that they are back. They are back. Yeah, there's another bingo here. Go kukuma better for you and your generation. You self, you know that one. What are you doing here? This is how they provoke Ijele to be talking all those things. He's saying that his mama turn is coming for war for where? Do you own life? Do you know tomorrow? They say Ijele talk like this, Ijele talk like this. The Ijele talk past that somebody that is there that is doing my lord now. So, you people are your ability to analyze issues is paralyzed. So I give it to the person that created you to your egoism that you are today. Okay, so I'm not going to entertain that. Okay. Let me see. Let me remove that guy. Please, if you cite a bingo, just tell me. Let me block them because I don't have the energy. I don't have the energy. Yeah. So we're talking about somebody that went to his home state in Imo State and pack small girl. They are not even up to 18 years. I've learned that now is a law in Nigeria that if you take an underage girl to a hotel and they did not stop you, the hotel did not do anything to stop it, that they will close that place. I mean, in 2024, all over the world, all over the world. Is you don't come near a child that is still growing, that don't know his left and right, you know. But is it Oyibo that make you to be doing that, that went to your village to go and take your own brothers and your sisters? She is the president of NIDCOM, Nigerians in Diaspora. She's doing a great work, because I remember this news broke out maybe 2 weeks ago or even less than that. And before you know it, she went there with her crew to go and see the girls. She have arranged with all the governors that were mentioned there, and she has brought those girls back on flights as I'm talking to you. So when they that thing busted, they took those girls, put them in Nigerian commission her. She went there to visit them. She didn't have to, but she went there to visit them. And now, as we are talking, the girls are in Nigeria back. I mean, like, this is how you want your government to work. When you are thinking that government should work, where is the government? This woman is actually representing. We need to give her kudos. We really need to give her the kudos. So I appreciate you, Honorable Abike David, because she's not even most of these times when she's engaging, I know even people from our region, but she's really out there trying her best. So her name is Abike Dabiri Erewa. I remember this woman when I was growing up, that she was reading NTA News. So that name rings a bell that time. When I was small, I would say Abike Dabiri, NTA News. I think so. Along the line, she married, and this is it. So yeah, I appreciate the work she's doing. So they arrived Lagos last night at 9:55 p.m. And he said most of those girls are mainly from Imo State, and a few of them from Plateau State. So the NIDCOM chairman added that the girls were handed over to National Agency of Production of NATIP. But that NATIP, the people they employ, they were there in Nigeria. This thing are happening, they did not see it. So you understand? So when something like this happens, you have NATIP. How did they help the situation? Nothing. They did not do anything. And NATIP is in Nigeria. All this is going on. They are carrying guests every day from Nigeria. So those people in that NATIP, they need to look for more efficient people, maybe poor women, so that this whole thing will stop. Yeah. So they have been handed over. So we want to appreciate Honorable Abike Daviri. I appreciate the work she has done. Thank God that those girls, immediately she heard of it, she took action. In a space of within 1 week or so, the girls are back in Nigeria in good health, right? Taken care of. Why? So you feel you have a government, you don't know the way they went there. Maybe they carried them for bus village to village, but now they came in a flight. So their first flight experience is paid by Nigerian government. But we need this kind of people in government. We don't want all these people that are just occupying spaces doing nothing. Yeah. So our Honorable Abike Dabiri, I'm very appreciative of the work you have done. Thank you so much, and keep up the good work. Yeah. I thought I shared the picture of the person, or maybe it's for good that I don't have the picture.
My cousin, onye fụrụ n'anya, anyị ncha niile ana m ejewe holidays na be ha na 1993, do na mgbe ahụ na ha kapetụrụ mpe.
Just a moment, let me see if I will see the picture.
Wee mama anyị mma mụtara m ihe abụ ofu nwanne ya nwoke, na-adụ nwoke na-abụ ofu nwụọ n'agha Biafra. Nwanne ya nwoke nke fọrọ afọ, onye nke abụ diọkpara ya. Unu nwere ike na-anụ maka ike agụ, ekpere ike.
I'm coming. I will explain what he's saying. Just a minute.
Eventually, who this message might save. You got to go. A very young boy, a very, very young boy, a very healthy boy. Mana story na abanya mmiri, ife merie na abanya mmiri. Up till now, I cannot understand. Etu obodo a na-akpọ Nigeria bụ inwe ike na-asị nọ niile echekwa onwe gị n'aka ndị kidnapa, inweke je bọọdụ echi agbaghị ịgba ọha aba, ọ bụkwazi nọọ ife tụkwazi na-akụ ya bụ ịkpa okwu ihe ahụ egbu olu. Onwe ndị na-asị ka ịma nke ọzọ. ịghọtago. So ị nwere ike sị na ịma na-apụzi ilo n'ihi na anọzi na ya dị ofu moto emeja mụọrụ, ọ bụ na ya dị na kichin ya ka ofu ife ya n'ogbu. So na Nigeria onwe ozi ife dị save at all, onwe ife dị save. This my cousin golu gallon, this fairly used gallon a na-adị esobe container abata, gallon eji agbata fuel na filling station. Ịma na gallon alụ na Nigeria ọha alụsi ike na rọba, ọha alụsi ike, anwụcha ya etu ọgbazee, inweke buru fuel na asef okwu fuel awụọ na ala, ma ọ n'iwe ike were gbanye palm oil ọnọkata ozu si na ya rikide, ịghọtago, maọbụ iwere okwuchi igbo na ọnọkata ọya ezi kwuchizi ọya ị na-ekwuchi okwuchi agbazi ya awe. So ndị mmadụ na-eji egokarị used Belgian gallon nke si container nke si Europe wee bunata, ọ na-aka esi ike igorozie ya sachasịa ya iwezie mee ife ịchọrọ ime. Etu a ka o si wee jee na Lagos, onye nke Lagos ka ha bi jegoro galọn, wezie dị galọn a ka o sie ka ọ mara ife eji eme na eji egba fuel ka eji egba oil, which is normal. Ife anybody can do that, even mụnwa sef mbata jegoro dị galọn ahụ. First thing na-emebi ikwughe ka m sie n'ime mara ihe ọ na-esi, mara ka m na-esi were asa ya. My cousin ekwughezie dị galọn sie n'ime kemikal si etu a situe n'ime, ịghọtago. Ọ bụrụ na eji galọn a nwere dangerous chemical eji galọn a wee use ejeketụkesi tụkọsịa na kọntena wee bunata Naijiria wee na-ere. Normally sef ndị ọcha use ụdị kemikal a wee mee ife fa ha ekwe ka datin baa n'aka another individual. O nwere special way ha si destroy that gallon, mana onwe ka ọ bụrụ onye Naijiria fụrụ ya chịkọrọ ya bifo ndị ọcha enegharị anya, ọ chịkọrọ na aka na kọntena maka ọ chọrọ ime ike money, ebunata na Lagos na-ele. My cousin na-esi ha na n'imi kemikal ahụ sikpue n'imi, ọha ekutezi ume, etin wee nakpuo ya ime lungs wee damage his own lungs. Ọyaba ahụ ozugbo na bido gbawa na-anyụ na-agbọ agbọ bifo eburu eru na ọgwụ ọnwụọ. Ihe a na-eme nwanne ya ibe a na-eme. Yesterday ka ebunatara ya ọka etiti ya na mortuary, ịghọtago. I akwa na this June, I think 26th or 28th of June, I think 26th of June. In fact, next 2 weeks ka I akwa.
Yeah. So this story is somehow, so this guy you are looking at here, he don't oof yesterday, and the brother that is saying what happened, he's saying that this guy, what happened to him is that he went to buy gallon, this gallon they used to buy fuel and all those things. He went to buy that gallon, and on buying that gallon, he wanted to just open it and see, smell it, like to know, is it clean? That's normal thing. Like once you buy gallon, you just open it and smell. So that's what happened to him. And immediately he opened that gallon and smell it. The chemical inside the carton, the gallon, like the gallon, it's a used gallon. They are bringing it from abroad. These people that importer and exporter, they pack all those things, put it there, and the guy breathed something inside there. The thing went into his. Everybody, if you say, whether you say gallon or jerrycan, everybody understand. We use it to fetch water. We use it to, but by the time I was in Nigeria, there were all those plastic companies in Nigeria that were producing it. So I don't know that it is not there, but he's giving the reason why that the one that they are producing in Nigeria, that the quality is poor. Maybe you will buy it, you will close it after some time, will not close properly or something. So they prefer the one that is coming from abroad. So that's why they buy it from abroad. So yeah, this guy, yeah. So my people, this is just, I mean, it's not a nice story, but maybe somebody can learn from it. And again, I want to also make a commentary about the brother that shared this video, because the blame is going to Nigeria. Of course, you have to blame Nigeria because of the corruption in it. When you are saying corruption, there's a time President Jonathan said corruption is not stealing. Truly, corruption is not stealing, because corruption is deeper than stealing. Corruption is like a bullet that is back, 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 killing people in different ways. Yeah. So because of the corruption in Nigeria, that kind of jerry can, I'm very sure that there is a place that they say maybe something that is used for this thing, don't take it out of Nigeria. You know, I have worked in a lab before where they are using radioactive materials. Those places even you have to wear, there are different type of gloves at different points of, you know and like for example, the chemicals that they are putting, all those radioactive material now, maybe they put it inside something, transport it, somebody will now go and put his nose there. Hmm? Somebody, because it's invisible, you can't even see it. So the story is saying that this our brother that we are looking at here, he has gone yesterday, he has gone to glory yesterday, that he went to the market to buy jerry can or gallon, that they used to buy fuel, all this, you want to buy fuel, you want to fetch water, that gallon, he needed it, and he went to secondhand people that are bringing it from overseas, he went to buy, and he just bought it, and he just wanted to open it and see what is inside, so that he will know how to clean it. He put his nose there, that's all. You just put your nose there, then the chemical from inside just inhaled it, it went into his body, it collapsed his lungs. Yeah, it collapsed his lungs, and he was sick, and before you know it, he just died yesterday. He's healthy, nothing happened to him. So, hi, you know, at the end of the day, this is a very, very terrible thing to happen. If it was me, I would be wondering, where did he buy that gallon? Where? Obviously, everybody will know the shop he bought that gallon, because something like that, say, you can't just dispose it anywhere, because another person will go and carry it. Something like that, that's where police come in. Yeah, that's where you have to say, this is what happened. You go to the shop, the man that imported it, whoever is selling it, they have to cordon all the wares in his shop, because we don't know how many. So they are going to bring people, like people that detonate bomb. They wear the appropriate material and go through the material to all. They will just, destroy all of it to save life. This is what you do when something like this happen. You don't sit back in your house and be saying, Nigeria, this, Nigeria. Yeah, the country is corrupt. Everybody know that. They have corrupt people in places of power, in places where they need safeguard. For example, normally, because of safety, something like this should not come into Nigeria. And normally, even from wherever they are bringing it from, something like that supposed not to cross. But the sharpness, you go and take something where you're not supposed to take and bring it to Nigeria. So now we don't know, is it only that jerry can, that gallon you got from that shop? Are there many like that? Before you will say, oh, my enemy, they will say, who did it? They will see prophecy. Many people are going to be suffering for what they know nothing about, because they will give prophecy now, they will give revelation, who did it, who did not do it. But meanwhile, it is just a jerry can that they went to buy from the market. Okay, now, how did you help to stop that cycle of destruction? Huh? Because, for example, if you see that something is bad, like for example, it's contaminated, you can disinfect it to protect the next person. So you have seen something like this now. I did not read anywhere that you went back to the market, or you say, where did you buy it? I'm sure somebody know where you bought it. That man supposed to pay for damages. All the gallons that came in that batch, maybe there will be something on the body, like what it was used for. Container, normally it will have something there. You're supposed to see the label, so that they will look through the labels, look through all the jerry can. And as I'm afraid now that many jerry cans may be like that, and many people would have bought it and gone to their home. So in my conclusion on this video, I will say, please, for the sake of safety, buy that one they are producing in Nigeria like that. Yes, buy it like that. Eh? Even if it is a chair fake, it is not working forever. Yes, buy it like that, because today there's something called planned obsolescence, that they produce goods in so that it will damage quickly, so that you will buy, because they need you to buy to meet up with the market returns. All this stock exchange, they need people to be buying. So if you buy one thing and it is good for you forever, you are not going to buy it again. So the modern market is not planned like that. So please buy the one they are producing in Nigeria. Because when I was in Nigeria, we used to buy the one they produce in Nigeria. There were all those plastic companies in Lagos, they were producing it there. Buy it like that. So at least it's brand new. It has not been used for anything, right? And stop buying things from containers that they are reused, because you don't know what they use it before. It's better they put it in small nylon that it's a brand new nylon, than they are putting it all this container, you don't know what they use it for. You don't know who is going through it. So there's a lot of lack of safety standard in different forms that we see in Nigeria. Protect yourself. My condolences to this family, to this brother and his loved ones. But please, my brothers and my sisters, do better. If you see something like that, yeah, you can be blaming Nigeria, but take actions to save other people, so that agony you are going through, other people will not go through it. Very unfortunate. Young man in his prime, healthy, just because he went to buy a jerrycan, and just because some corrupt person break down all the rules so that he will come to Nigeria to make money. And see the cost now, right? So yeah, Nigeria is corrupt. Nigeria is corrupt. It's the people. The people are just criminal and corrupt minded. I don't know. I don't know. It's very bad. Yeah, Don. It's very, very bad. Unfortunate. So yeah. He said, can we stop them from buying flooded cars and other brands in abroad? No, no, we can't. But I mean, of course, the mechanism to stop it is already there. If the customs will do their work, but all you need to do is give them money. So no, the country cannot even work, because nobody is interested in doing their job. And if you want to do the job the way you are supposed to do it, you will be seen as an enemy. You will be taken out. That is the tragedy, honestly. That's the tragedy. Yeah, so how are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? You put there's a custom officer there. There are standard organization of Nigeria. Like everything you can think of, there are people employed to do that job. Do they do it? No. Because if they really want to do that job, it will be like, you are standing in my front. You don't want to do this work. They will oof the person. I'm telling you. They like you will be like, you are the one, you become the problem. They don't see you as that you are bringing solution. No. Yeah, so my people, this part of the story is what is going on in Nigeria. So they said Nigeria confronts its worst economic crisis in a generation. So this one is for you guys that you are in Nigeria now. It's for you to give us the feedback, because I'm not there, and I don't know how it is biting hard. And the worst thing about Nigeria is the government does not provide any form of welfare. I've never seen that kind of a thing before. In fact, even I remember when I was in the Southwest, their governors even used to give, what did they call it? There was a money they paid to the students, and we didn't have that in the Southeast. I was like, wow. But beyond that, how can a whole government stay and they are not doing anything for their people? Like, you have actually no responsibility for the people. That's why there's poverty in Africa. No welfare, bursary. Thank you. So back in the day, there was bursary. I don't know, do they still pay that bursary today? So the governors of those states in the southwest, they were paying the students bursary. I don't know how much, but it was not much, but at least it was something. And if you're a student, you are entitled to it. So now this is being reported by the New York Times. And the New York Times is reporting that Nigeria is going through the worst economic situation in a generation. That means for people who are alive today, there is no time in history that what they are experiencing now is worse than as the situation that is going on in Nigeria. No? So let me read some of the posts. No. So they say Nigeria is facing its worst economic crisis in decades, with skyrocketing inflation, a national currency in free fall, and millions of people that are struggling to buy food. Only 2 years ago, Africa's biggest economy, Nigeria, is projected to drop to fourth place this year. The pain is widespread. Unions strike to protest salaries of around $20 a month. People that are in stampedes, desperate to get free sacks of rice. Hospitals are overrun with women marked by spasm from calcium deficiencies. So you guys in Nigeria, you have to corroborate this story. The wahala is largely believed to be because of two major changes by the president that was elected 15 months ago. He said because the partial removal of fuel subsidy and the floating of the currency. A nation of entrepreneurs, Nigeria has more than 200 million citizens that are skilled in managing tough circumstances without services states usually provide. Yeah, Nigerians are doing without the services that states usually provide. And a nation of entrepreneurs, Nigerians more than 2 million are skilled at managing tough without the states no usual provide, and they generate their own electricity and source their own water. They take up arms and defend their community. When the armed forces are not, they negotiate with Queen and Alpha when family members are. But right now, their resourcefulness is being stretched to the limits. What do you say, guys? Yeah, this is an article from New York Times. So it's in the news today, and it's thought provoking, So if anybody is reading about Nigeria today, this is the news that they are going to be reading. For me personally, it has always been incredible, especially that it is not a given that you have running water. Especially that it's not a given that you have electricity. Especially that it's not a given that the government will have some kind of welfare package, for example, for orphans, for widows, for women with little children, for the elderly, like nothing, absolutely nothing. And that brings me even to one video that Fashola was doing and talking about wages. Maybe I will do that one another time because the time is stretched. So yeah, Nigerians are going through a very difficult period right now. You don't need the New York Times to tell you that Nigeria is going through a very tough time. Hmm? You don't need New York Times to tell you. But one of the things that I reckon is Nigerians don't like any form of agriculture. Anything that will make the hands dirty, anything that will cause any form of anything that will cause a lot of any kind of discomfort, they don't like it. When transformer break, exactly. I remember back then in my village, we bought our own transformer in my village, and last it was still members of our village that stole it. Can you imagine? Because then the our village transformer was working, everything was fine back then, and then as after some time our village transformer developed a fault, and then they said that they want some people to come and repair it. Then some bad people in the community, in the village, now went to arrange with thief. So the now came with those thief that they are the ones that have come to carry the transformer, and that's how they carry the transformer. So by the time they have gone, before they realize that those people were thief. So I want to share this video with you because I saw this video. Yeah, I know Nigeria is hard right now. Hmm? Nigeria, you know, the things are so expensive, and I even see that prices are so, like, you are talking about a salary in a month, that you are talking about maybe the minimum somebody can earn is 60,000, 70,000, 100,000. It's not even a giving, but the life expenditures that they have to make is not corresponding. So if somebody have to live on that amount and live and pay all those bills that they are demanding for food, for electricity, for rent, that's why there's corruption. Huh? Good evening. There's corruption because people can't live on their wages. People can't live on their wages, and there is nothing to support, no help from government. For example, here where there is all these low wages, and people can't live on their wages, there are some government help that where you can go, you can get some food, you can get some help. You know, there is health insurance. You don't need to pay out of pocket. There are measures to temper it down, but you have a government that they are just there for themselves, sha. Like, it's incredible. They are there for themselves, eating well, living well. Now they say they know. You understand? And then if the people demand anything, they will not be scrutinizing it. They will scrutinize it. They say, no, you cannot make people to pay like this. So let's do this video tomorrow about minimum wage and salary and income, because I think the question is not like just paying people money, but what else is the state offering to buffer the impact? You know, like, you come to a state, there's no water, you dig your own water. There is no electricity, you buy generator to give yourself electricity. And there is no road, maybe you people contribute money to make, like, so what is the government there doing? You know, because if there's electricity, the money you are spending for fuel, to buy generator, to on your you don't need it. You will save it. Yeah. Then if there is running water, the money you will need to go and dig borehole, to go and buy tank, to buy pump, you don't need it. You will just, you open your tap, water will run. Are you getting me? If there's health insurance for you, the healthcare system, and then if anything happen to you, to your children, that you can walk into the hospital, you don't have to pay out of your pocket. There's an amount you are paying every month, and you know it covers you in case of any incasity. And then you can be talking about all these low wages. But in the absence of that, I don't know, like, how do you have loyalty for this kind of thing? I don't know. Me, you know, they let me understand. Then another aspect of it is the lack of the willingness to do any form of farm work. I know that farm work is hard, don't get me wrong. Farm work is hard. Let me share this video with you.
Do you believe that a basket of tomatoes in this market is 4,000 naira? 4,000 naira. I am not joking. I'm not kidding. This is 4,000 naira for one of this basket. And I was shocked to my bargy bone, like 4,000 naira. And these are bags of onion that people had already.
So this lady went to a local market in Jos, and this is her experience, and she's sharing it with the rest of Nigeria. And most of the produce that you see here, they are buying them and transporting it back to the south but because of the high increase in transportation, in fuel, so and human cost, by the time they get all this produce to the south, it's a lot of money, right?
Do you believe that a basket of tomatoes in this market is 4,000 naira? 4,000 naira. I am not joking. I'm not kidding. This is 4,000 naira for one of this basket. And I was shocked to my bargy bone, like 4,000 naira. And these are bags of onion that people had already paid. Like they bought it and paid for it. So this will be sent down to the east, the west, and the south. So as you can see, this market is a very August, and if if that's the right word to use for it, is very big, like very big. Then I saw this fresh beetroots and I saw strawberry. My mom had already told me before, see them carrying it on their head, and I was like, I really want to see it. Then boom, I saw them with strawberries on their head, and I had to ask them how much is this one that my mom is holding, and they said this one is 1.5, and this other one, they said this one is, I would be traveling with it. So I want to buy and travel with it, and it's so surprising. It's so surprising. I was so, so I went and we bargained, and they sold it for me for 1,000. And the lady was actually showing me that she would mix it with these unripe ones for me, so that it will last me and it won't get spoiled, overripe and get spoiled on the way. So that was how we agreed.
Strawberry.
And I went for this one, and she sold it for me for 1,000. Guy, I won't lie, I was doing like a villager. When a villager comes to a city and you're seeing things that surprises you. Next we went to this broccoli stand.
I didn't know there was
I was told that this one was 500 naira. I've never seen a broccoli this huge before. I'd always seen those small ones, and I was pricing it for 300, and it was like, no, make you no be like, say I no price now. Normally this in Lagos, I would get this for, say, if not 4,000. And they were showing me, they said this one is kale, and the other one is, I'd forgotten the name. Then they showed me rosemary and so many more. Next went for cabbage, and I got this cabbage for 300 naira. 300 naira. Oh my god. And I bought two for 600 naira. I priced it, but no. And I bought all of this pair, all of it for 1,000 naira. Hey god, 1,000 naira. See, you see, Jos City, Jos is the best.
Yeah, so this is coming from Jos, So because normally people don't want to, dirty their hands. Normally, I know farm work is hard. I'm not saying you should go and do work, but in your house, at the back of the house, some space, you can just put some things, small things that you can be taking gradually, like okra, like tomato, like pepper, like ugu, like little things around your house there, and fruits. It will still help you, because now with this news of the hardship in Nigeria, and I'm seeing news in Facebook that some children are coming into the hospital, malnourished, and all those kind of a thing. Like, yeah, the story is not a good one. It's not a good one. They say women are like, their body will be shaky because of lack of calcium. That's like, not just that there's no food, the quality of the food that they even have access to have reduced. You understand? So it's not just that there's no food. The food they are used to eating has lost its quality. Normally people have survived up until now, but now it's very difficult. And now that the global people are picking it up, so that people will think, normally in Nigeria, because people are so like aligned to their tribal side, and it doesn't make them to be objective. They'll be saying, oh, it's my tribe man, it's not my tribe man, that kind of a thing. So they will not want to they will not want to be objective when you are trying to tell them that no, it's not about that. For example, this New York Post, this is the news that is going out of all of the world now, that Nigeria is having the worst crisis in a generation. And for New York Times to publish this, you can imagine that other very big newspapers are going to publish it. So the government needs to do something. I don't know the wisdom of suffering millions of people because you cannot control a few hundred people. How many people are the cabal that are eating the money of the fuel subsidy that you cannot control them? You cannot take why did you think that? And I'm even hearing they are still paying some of the subsidy. The thing is deep. I don't know what is going on there, but that was only like you are not giving Nigerian people welfare, you are not subsidizing anything. If somebody loses their father today, there's no government intervention, there's nothing. Like there's no youth program, there's no children program, there's no, all those things. They have the offices, they put somebody there is eating salary, that's it. So it was a buffer, and you just took away that buffer, and then you're not really producing. You're not producing even your own food, and at the end of the day, you cannot float the currency when you're not producing anything. What is it going to compete with? Like all the most important valuable things are coming from abroad. You understand? So it's a hard one. It's a hard one. I don't know what is going to happen, but um the world is acknowledging what Nigerians are going through, you know, and they are saying, it's facing its worst crisis in a generation. And up until now, Nigerian people are very resourceful. Nigerian people are entrepreneurs. They always find a way out. But this time, it's like they have reached their end. Like they don't have idea. And this is the story that is making waves across the world. And I don't know if it is in this density and dimension. Is for you guys at home to tell us, is it true? Is it that bad? Is it manageable? Are they blowing it out of proportion? You understand me? So that's what they are saying. What we know that Nigerian people will generate their own electricity, assuming the state generate their own generate electricity for the people, you just have to pay the electrical bill. It's a different ballgame. You have to generate your own electricity. How can you not be able to provide the electricity up till now, right? And they say they take off, people are forming vigilante groupings to defend themselves. I don't know whether it is yielding anything or not. And the law enforcement, they are overstretched, and there are so many corrupt personnel among them. And the people have taken on so much, but now they are at their right at the end. And you can see that they put Nigeria's map there for people that are not Nigerians or not Africans to be able to have a picture of where they are talking about. So this is not good news for Nigerian government at this point in time. So those of you guys in government, you need to sit up. You need to do. The world is watching you. The world is going out. It's no longer maybe opposition, or this is a fact. There are sometimes you say, "Oh, it's opposition. They are trying to do something," but it's a fact. You understand? An oil, I'm telling you, an oil producing country. Nigeria is the only oil producing country that the citizens are suffering. Every other oil producing country that is as rich as Nigeria, that is pumping oil as much as Nigeria, their citizens are on a cruise, honestly. So in closing, I only encourage everyone, do what you can and protect yourself. I hear there's also a cholera outbreak, and they are talking about granting access to clean water. Where the water won't come from? You know, those are the things that government supposed to provide. Government supposed to have a water board, but you know, water is very important. They're supposed to have a water management board, fresh water management board. They're supposed to have drinking water supply system. They don't have it. This is the work of government. This is actually where government spend money. So where does Nigerian government spend their money? That's the incredible thing. Nigerian government officials are spending money on themselves. And then when you ask them to yield, they will be complaining. You are not providing water, you are not providing electricity, you are not providing healthcare, you are not giving welfare for food, like you are not building road. Like, guys, help me. They are not doing what normal government will do. These are the provisions that the state provide for the people. You are not doing it. And then from the mega yeah, my people, I've said what I needed to say. My throat is dry. I'll see you guys tomorrow on next by the grace of God. Thank you so much for being a part of this program. My condolences to the family that lost their brother. I really condole with you. It's an unfortunate death and it's supposed not to happen. For example, it's part of what we are talking about. If the country has a company that is, reliable and producing basic products that people need in their home country, right? And if the custom will do the work they're supposed to do, check well, make sure that all this kind of things doesn't enter the country. Because this is one casualty we know. We don't know how many other casualty, right? Yeah, so it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Yeah. Take care, guys. Good night.